Morning everybody, how are you? Welcome
Fine,
to...
thanks.
Shut up, I ain't talking to you. Welcome to WEBBY'S World. Now listen, we've got something very, very special today. I was going to tell you earlier on, but I've kept it quiet. Now I'm going to give you a big clue. Why am I wearing a Scottish cap? Alright? That's the reason.
It's not Scottish, it's tartan.
There's always one, and it's always you in it. That's all your pals you send this to. So wonder they just don't click you off and block you.
Sorry.
Hey, we're in WEBBY'S World, Denimon Manor and Duffy. We are in the Sports Tavern, associated with the Sports Tavern. They are open 7 days a week from, what time they open from?
10.
10 in the morning until?
Midnight.
Last orders, half past
11.
And they do food, breakfast. And there's a lovely couple here having a bit of brekkie, all good.
And lunch.
And lunch, and they do lunch as well, right through till 6 o'clock. So, the Sports Tavern in Kelosovaki down in WEBBY'S little manor. Right, listen, without further ado, we got to get on with this. This is going to be super. This man, yeah, it isn't. I've got the questions. I'll put them down here, as you can see, and he's going to. Are you or not?
I'm going to ask my mate.
You're going to ask your mate.
Very good mate of mine.
Yeah, Scottish. What else can we say? I'm not going to say nothing until he comes up and sits in the hot seat. And you're going to do the questions, and I'm going to pop in every now and then, just to spice it up and what have you.
Have a good old chat about
have a good old chat. And one of their players, ex-players, is on WEBBY'S wall here. Quality Scottish ex-player. So, without further ado, let's get the big man on. Who is it? Have you guessed yet? Don't get turning off. Look at, he's coming. Oh my God!
Here we go.
Teddy Bear, Paul Stewart, absolute living legend. If you check on my YouTube channel, I don't know, 18 months, 2 years ago.
18 months, I think.
18 months ago, that I interviewed this young man, and we got nearly 10,000 views. It was an absolute blinder, and I loved it. I must admit, I watched it 2 or 3 times. So, Paul Stewart, how are you, big boy?
Nice to see you, Webby.
And nice to see you, sir.
How you doing, mate? You alright, Paul?
Yeah,
Good to
doing
see
fine.
you, mate.
We appreciate you very, very much for coming on our show today, because obviously with regards to your football club, Rangers, they've gone through a lot of turmoil over the past 12 months with managers coming, going, owners, etc. But I thought we'd leave that questions right till the end, the last 3 or 4. But what I want to do is get Simon to ask you a standard 15 questions about your club and your players that you like to and whatever. And if you want to chuck something in, then please do. So, Big Simon, thanks for coming on again today and interviewing the big man.
You're welcome.
So
It's my pleasure to interview
keep it
you.
nice and tight. So go away, start asking the questions.
So, Paul, how's life treating you?
It could be better at the moment, Si.
Yeah, I get that, mate.
Being a football fan,
Yeah, difficult time.
difficult time, definitely.
Well, listen, we're going to get back to that later. But right now, right, so your favourite all-time player, Glasgow Rangers player, and why?
Okay. And I'm only allowed one.
You can have 2, I'll let
Maybe
you.
have to. Right, okay. So, first of all, and I'm going back when I was just a boy going to the games.
You remember that far back,
I
don't you?
can remember that far back. The greatest Ranger of all time and still living is John Gregg, and basically everything that he stood for was about Glasgow Rangers, and if you slashed his wrists it would be blue blood and it would spell Rangers, and he would run through a brick wall, and he was a great leader on the park for Rangers.
Big centre-half, wasn't he? Big centre-half.
Although,
Strong.
believe it or not, in his time he scored a lot of goals for Rangers. A lot of goals. You'd see him popping up in the box.
Set piece goals from corners and
All sorts.
types.
They run through defences if they weren't there.
just shoot,
Yeah,
just shoot.
absolutely.
Brilliant.
However, the best player that I have ever seen, and this will be debated, if you had 100 Rangers fans sitting here, a lot of them would say Brian Laudrup, most skillful player ever. However, for me, the best player that I ever seen at Rangers in a blue jersey was Paul Gascoigne.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, for me, Gascoigne. And I always remember when we won the league against Aberdeen, he took the ball in his own 18-yard box, and he must have went by 6 Aberdeen players and scored.
Unbelievable.
Incredible, you
Great
know.
player, wasn't he?
Absolutely.
Such a shame where he is now,
Yeah.
the place he's in
Yeah,
now.
totally.
Hopefully
Yeah.
he's getting better.
Yeah.
But you know, what a footballer. Even though, you know, he played for the other mob
Yeah.
as well as your lot, you know.
Yeah.
You've got to respect him as a footballer.
Yeah.
Come what may.
Absolutely.
Come what may, the things that man could
Yeah.
do with a ball
Yeah.
was no one's
I mean,
business,
you know, being Scottish, you know, probably one of his greatest goals was against Scotland when he put the ball over Colin Hendry,
Wembley,
and you know, then and even the celebrations, that was the dentist chairs.
That was like pardon the pun moment, wasn't
Absolutely.
it? Like, if he watches it back, you know, it reminds me of when Merson done it.
Yeah.
When Merson, when Arsenal won the cup. And he started doing all that to all the fans, and he was already a raving alcoholic, and no one knew. You know, crazy.
Yeah.
So now we move on, right? Question 2. Manager, or we call it the manager. You know,
Yeah.
I don't get this coach thing.
Nah, I don't get
you
the
know,
coach
manager. Who's the best manager you've had?
Walter Smith.
Walter Smith.
Walter Smith, the gaffer, without a shadow of a doubt. Walter was just fantastic. And I'll give you an example, right? In a cup final, and Rangers went down to 9 men in a cup final.
Wow.
Now, at that time, Walter Smith let Ali McCoist manage the cup teams, right? Anyway, goes down to 9 men, right? And we're up against it at Hampden, and basically, Walter came down to the touchline and he basically pointed out a few things, changed a couple of things. Rangers won the cup that day with 9 men. Wow. That was incredible. But for me,
and he was up in the stands.
He was in the stand. He came down.
A couple of little Chinese whispers.
And sorted it.
And that was it.
Yeah, and that was no disrespect to Ali McCoy. It was just
no, but
it needed at that point.
That was your
in time,
manager all over.
Yeah, that was
that was how good he was. The kind of swing that he had, you know, with the club. You know, that's unbelievable. That. Who's the best signing you think you've ever made?
The best. That's a difficult question because
you've signed a good few players.
We had some fantastic signings when Rangers were in the market to, now we made some controversial signings, and if you look at probably the biggest controversial signing that we ever made was Mo Johnson. Because Mo Johnson obviously played for the other team in Glasgow, and basically just before the cup final, Celtic paraded him as their new signing, but he hadn't actually signed on the dotted line. Souness got wind of that and actually went out and signed him, and he then probably became the most hated man in Glasgow because Rangers fans hated him and Celtic fans despised him, but that shows you at that time as to what we could do.
Unbelievable! That's mad. That's the pull. Yeah. That's the pull of Glasgow Rangers, no?
Absolutely, that's the pull of Glasgow Rangers. However, I would probably put Mo Johnson in the category of the worst signing that we ever made as well.
That bad?
No. He actually turned out to be a great player for us, and when he actually scored in the last minute at Ibrox against them, and we won 1-0, probably could never go back and say I'd done the dirty on Rangers or in, because he turned into one of us then, I suppose.
Good player.
Although some fans never ever went back.
Never took to him.
Just never went back after he signed. It was as simple as that.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy.
All good?
Yeah.
Everything good?
Good.
How many questions we gone down to?
I suppose we're at number 4. But,
all right, keep it nice and easy.
What I would say as well, that when Souness came to Rangers, and if you remember rightly, English teams were not in Europe then. That was start of the revolution, and we signed England's captain Terry Butcher.
Butcher.
And he for me was what we needed at that time.
From
A big,
Ipswich, from Ipswich.
yeah, Ipswich, yeah, big, strong centre half, and he took to Rangers. Rangers took to him, and the fans loved him.
Similar to a John Gregg type player
Absolutely.
for England.
Yeah,
you know, I always
absolutely.
remember when he cut his head open.
Yeah.
You know,
And he wore that bandage.
Frequently.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, like you say, John Gregg would run through brick walls.
Yeah.
This guy the same for me. You know,
right
exactly
now
the same type.
I'm also going to throw in. I've got to throw in one other player, right? Who
in the worst category.
No, this is still in the best, right? Because these were both outfield players, but Andy Gorham, the Rangers goalie, right? Without a doubt, the goalie, he was the best goalkeeper we ever had, right? And I remember the season, Celtic did not lose a game, right? Okay, and he single-handedly won us the league that year because Celtic battered us. I remember one of the games at Celtic Park, and he stopped it going in. Tommy Burns, sadly he's passed away now. Basically, it'll go down on his tombstone as Andy Gorham got him the sack, you know, because basically he stopped Celtic winning the league that year.
And they was invincible that year, sorry.
Yeah,
Didn't lose a game.
They didn't lose a game.
But you still won the league.
We still won the league. Yeah, we won more games. They drew more games than us.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being
Absolutely
invincible
mad.
and not winning the league.
Totally.
Absolutely fuming.
Yeah.
As a fan,
Yeah.
you like if you were supporting the other mob,
Yeah.
how fuming would you be?
Incredible sign.
And to get the sack.
And to get sacked.
You've done nothing wrong.
Yeah,
you couldn't have done no more.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's a great feat, you know, to do that, to beat a team to win the league that hasn't won, lost a game.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Now we're going to hit you with the worst category, Mr. Stewart.
Well, we've had some poor signings over the years. You know, and as I said, Mo Johnson would probably fall into that category as being the worst signing ever. But what I'll say about, we made in the Souness period, right? We made some bad signings, but the one thing about Souness was he never actually lost any money on. So he would sign a player, didn't work out, but he would actually
get profit on him.
Yeah, Mel Sterling falls into that category.
Back for Wednesday.
I can't remember exactly who was signing from.
For Wednesday.
Yeah, but certainly,
long hair.
He didn't make it for us at all, in my mind, you know. Anyway, okay.
So Mel Sterling, he's there.
He's probably
Wednesday.
For me.
Get out, Mel Sterling. We don't like you. Right, best game you've been to.
Okay.
Not TV. You've been there.
That I've physically been there. Well, okay. Two that spring to mind. Okay. And is both against them, right? And basically the first one was 4 each game at Ibrox, and they actually snowed that day.
You were there?
And I was there. We actually had
mate.
everything. 4-4. That was a fantastic game, and I always remember their goal to equalise was Murdo McLeod, and it was like a 30-yard screamer, you know. But we had some great goals in that game as well. Fantastic. Yeah. The other one was 5-1, and I always remember it because the fans have still got a song about it. Ian Andrews was in goals for them. Celtic scored first. Celtic scored first, and we won 5-1. Ray Wilkins, who's sadly no longer with us, he scored a volley from outside the box, which was a 30-yard screamer, you know, as well, you know. So that was a fantastic game. Fantastic.
5-1, 4-4, 5-1.
Yeah.
What, 2 cracking games?
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah.
Get out of it, man. So listen, best away ground that you've been to, the best away ground.
Okay, not in terms of i.e. state of the art, because I've been to some fantastic.
Yes, you have.
I've been to
Over
some
Europe, I know
fantastic in
you have,
Europe.
yeah.
Been to some great stadiums in Europe, but probably because it's one of the away grounds, you're as close to the park as you can get, and that is Tynecastle, heart of Midlothian's football ground. You know, they're right on it. The fans are right on you.
Yeah.
Everything.
Like they can feel your breath. If you're on the pitch playing, they can feel you breathing. They hear everything.
Yeah. So definitely Tynecastle.
Stadium, yeah. Right. So where are we going now, Paul? Best game, best ground, best.
Number 7.
Yeah. Who's your favourite second team?
Favourite second team? Okay. Well, that is. I'm going to answer that with 2 questions as well. Okay. My favourite second team is the Rangers reserves. They're not actually called reserves now. They're called the under 21s or
23s.
That's my
good answer.
Or B team, if you want to call them that.
Yeah, good answer.
However, my third team is easy as well. That is anyone, and that is anyone in Scotland, anyone in Europe, in the world, definitely. Anyone that is playing them. You know, it's just, and they'll be the same. Anyone that's playing them is definitely, that's what it's all about.
So, apart from them, right? What team and fans do you dislike the most?
Right, okay, that's
easy, isn't it?
That is easy as well.
That's a red mob, isn't it?
That is a red mob, and that is Aberdeen, right?
Aberdeen, you told me they're called once.
Now,
that's what you told me once. They're called Aberdeen.
Webby, who basically said that at the very start he had Ian Durrant picture behind him. Well, Ian Durrant's not the cause of that. He is not the cause of that, because there was a hatred before.
Hang on. Let me I'm going to show you the picture of Ian Durrant. There you are, me and Durante in my last pub where I retired. Sorry, boys.
Is that the one you retired from?
Yeah, I did.
Is that the third one?
Shut up, you. I've had to get that one in. Now you can tell the story now, big man.
Yeah, so Ian Durrant, who was still a Rangers legend, however, could have probably became the most skillful ever player to put on the blue jersey. But his career, or part of his career, he was out for about 2 years. And I'll tell you the power when he came back, and how much the fans loved him. Rangers played a reserve game at Ibrox, and over 10,000 people turned up on a Tuesday night, I think it was, to go and see Durrant make his comeback. Now, yes, he still did well when he came back, but he could have been so much better.
With that injury, was it crucial?
I don't know the full technical things, but I think everything went in that leg. Neil Simpson tackle, and basically the hatred between Rangers and Aberdeen fans have been forced. Now, what I will say is, because I did say earlier on that I do support anyone that's playing the other mob, i.e. Celtic. Did I just say that? Celtic. And so I do support Aberdeen when they play the other mob. But what I will tell you is how much the hatred is. When Aberdeen fans, they will never ever support, and I've said this to them, to their face, they will never support Rangers in any capacity whatsoever. So they hate us more than anything I've ever known.
Why?
They just hate us. Everything to do with us, they hate.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. I'm going to have to ask my mate Craig. I'll have to ask Craig. Craig Cowie, if you're listening to this, when you get this later on today, you're going to have to tell me why you lot hate the Jers so much, because I'd love to know. So let me know when you get this, Mr. Cowie. Thank you. And so, would you have, who is the better player in your eyes, Messi or Ronaldo? Okay, you're going to think that every single thing has got a Rangers ring to it. Yeah. Well,
this has as well, right? So I'll go Messi all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Because Ronaldo, I think, could score 1,000 goals in his career.
Yeah.
He's up there. Probably a fantastic player. Rangers were playing Manchester United at Old Trafford. We're 4-0 down. And what does Ronaldo start doing? Showboating. I'm not into showboaters.
No,
and
we just like good old football, don't we?
And for me, Messi is a good old footballer.
Yeah.
Seen Messi play as well.
Yeah.
Played against Rangers.
Barca?
Yeah, Barca. And, you know, so I think...
Different class, huh?
I think different class, yeah.
For me, someone so short and score goals with his head. Ronaldo's tall, he's lean. We know he's going to be there for how many years. He's going to still be playing, you know. And obviously, he does play for the love because he doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm a Messi type of guy as well.
Absolutely.
Would you have big number 5 in your team, Harry Maguire? Right now, I know the answer. But just answer the question.
I would take him. Yeah, I would take him. Right now, I'd definitely take him, but I would even have taken him before, to be fair.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Favourite sport? Your second favourite sport?
Second.
And don't say that game you play.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to say Petanka.
Yeah, Petanka. Yeah, that's
because
it.
I suppose some people look at that and say not a sport. But although I was absolutely hopeless at it, but I did play for a few years. I love watching the golf. I think the golf's good.
Ryder Cup. Ryder Cup's different.
Ryder Cup was amazing.
Let Webby in.
Oh my God, here's Webby.
Here he comes again. He can't help himself,
Shut
people.
up, listen. I'm wearing blue for my big man, and I'm wearing Scottish tartan for my big man as well, because I respect him. He knows I always have.
How do you know it's Scottish that time?
It
Well,
is.
It's all tartan Scottish.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Because you know the kind of makes it. Very, very quick, as you know, my auction, all right? It is...
It's not for sale, don't worry people, it's not him.
It is going on, but I'm going to do it properly with a big man in a couple of weeks' time. We're going to do a big vlog.
Yeah.
Alan Homemade Vlogs, my pal from Troon, sent me this over. He's good mates with the gentleman who signed this, his dad, and the gentleman who signed it as well. Now, I wore it when it came over, and I'll tell you what, it is the business. Look at that, it's from, right, it's from the
Open at Troon.
An 145th Open back in 2016 when Stenson won it, and I've got a cap signed by Stenson himself.
Who won it?
That's going to be for auction, and we're going to double it up with this. He got this for me as well, and it's signed by the one and only Colin Montgomery. Is that an absolute? Even my missus, I wore it, put it on yesterday, and she said, "Webby, I'll tell you something now." She says, "I'll make a bid for that." Yeah, she'll probably make a tenner. But
And buy it for you for Christmas because she might have thought you look sexy in it. I'm just saying.
Thank you, Mrs. Stewart.
Can you give us some answers to this?
But listen, that is super. That's going to be in the auction, all right? Don't forget, it's for fact. Fighting against cancer in Tenerife. What numbers we up to, son?
Oh,
Second favourite sport.
Yeah, we've done
What number is that?
We've done that. 11.
Oh, number 11.
Can't you see?
I
Put
can't
some
see.
glasses.
Listen, don't forget, you just tuned in to Webby's World down in my manor in Kalasovaki. We are in the Sports Tavern. They're open 7 days a week, 10 o'clock in the morning, right through till 12, and food from 10 in the morning till 6 o'clock. And the beautiful Tracy is the chef, and she is the business.
Fish and chip Friday.
Fish and chip Friday.
Homemade tartar sauce.
Laugh. It's absolute.
How much is it?
€13.50, and it is brilliant. I tell you, homemade. If you have it eating, if you take away, then they give you little sachets and whatever. So for $13.50, unbelievable. I saw Tyson Fury on a vlog yesterday, and he had 2 fish and chips from this wherever he was.
Morecambe.
And it was 40 quid. And he went, what? And it was like 40 quid. Horrendous.
And he don't mind about the money.
No. So
He's
don't
got
forget,
a few quid.
in association with the
Sports Tavern.
Right, boys, carry on.
Thanks, mate. Now get out of town.
I'm coming on the last couple of questions.
The most important person in your phone, football related.
Oh, Webby, without a doubt.
Oh my God! I'm coming, I love you. I love you.
Come on. Why you done that for, Mr. Stewart? Right.
You're not getting paid for this, Mr. Stewart. I'm telling you.
You get lucky to get a bottle of water or coffee out of him. Now, this is a very, very important question. This is something when I saw you on your bike last week, you know, I wanted to ask you, but you was in a hurry. I was on a walk. Who do you want as your manager, as your new manager? Who if you could just pick someone
So this is total personal. This is not a fan.
This is your choice, right? Money's no object.
Yeah.
You can have any manager you want in the world. This is the first part of the question.
Right.
I'm going to do it in two parts. Fantasy-wise, who is your ideal manager?
Okay. For me, and this is not fantasy.
Right.
For me, this is definitely not fantasy. There was only one person that we should have went for coach, okay, or manager.
Right.
And the reason for that was quite simplistic, because we are not doing it in Scotland. If you look at the last few managers, we have failed to break down teams in Scotland, right? So we needed somebody that knew the Scottish game, and basically, and although he had turned us down before, okay, what I would say is that we should have went for Derek McInnes, who's the Hearts manager, right? Now, that would have been very difficult to do, because everyone will know Hearts are sitting top of the Scottish League. He only just went to Hearts after leaving Kilmarnock at the end of last season, so it would have been difficult, I know, but Glasgow Rangers could have went, in my opinion, and got Derek McInnes. Now, his experience in Europe is not as good as some managers, but my view is that's who I would have got, because you've got to get the bread and butter right, and if we get the bread and butter right,
You start getting the main course right.
Football's all about confidence, right? Yeah. And at the moment our confidence is rock bottom. We needed somebody to get the confidence back, and I think Derek McInnes could have done that. However, I don't think that's going to. To my knowledge, he's not even in the frame. And if you look at the betting odds, he's way down. He's way down the betting.
Well, let me interact with you on that,
Yeah.
Derek McInnes. I'll tell you for why. After last week's show, I got a message off of my neighbour, Barry Wotherspoon's dad, John.
Yeah.
You know, Hearts fans, big
Yeah.
Hearts fans. And he said to me about Derek McInnes. He said Rangers would love to have him, right? And this is for the Hearts man. He said they'd love to have him, but you couldn't afford the compensation because of your financial restrictions. Right now, the compensation would be so high that you couldn't afford it. That was his take on it. You know.
Okay. Can I come in at this,
back,
right?
yeah.
If you look at Glasgow Rangers fan base, right? Okay, which one of the biggest fan bases in the world, right?
Yeah.
When Rangers went down to the third division, right? Okay, and I always remember it. We had a League Cup game against East Fife at Ibrox, right? And 47,000 turned out for that game, and Rangers fans united all throughout the seasons that we had in the lower leagues, and we turned out in force, right? Now, when have you ever heard the Rangers fans not turning up for games? You know, we had the Hibs game in the League Cup, maybe 25,000, maybe if you were lucky. We had European games that weren't sellouts. So no matter how much the compensation would have been to Hearts,
They would have found it.
we could have afforded it, because all that's happening or has been happening is fans have not been turning up.
Yeah.
So basically, we need that to happen. We need people to turn up, and they will turn up, and they'll turn up when the
In their droves.
we will turn up in the
And they'll
droves.
come back, you know they'll come
What
back.
was the game in Manchester when you had millions there and you lost one in the Europe?
European.
That was
Europa League.
It was actually UEFA Cup. It wasn't a Europa League then,
Okay, well,
it was basically against St. Petersburg.
Oh, that's right.
And who was managed by Dick Advocat, ex-Rangers manager, and there was well over 200,000 turned up for that game, which was amazing.
Yeah, unbelievable support. But everyone knows that Rangers have got to support. Listen, the football fans are fickle.
Yeah.
You know, they are the most ficklest group of people in the world, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, 1 minute you're hero, 1 minute you're zero.
Yeah.
You can go from hero to zero in a weekend.
Yeah.
You know, and that's football. And I
Yeah.
suppose that's why we love it.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
So Derek McKinsey's your ideal man for the job
Yeah,
because I've got the experience in Scotland.
Yeah.
He's done bits and bobs. You know, he's played
Yeah.
the game up there. So yeah, that's a good shout.
However,
Go on.
he's not going to get it, and it looks like Muscat's going to get it. And
How do you feel about that?
well, what I'll say is, he's a winner, right?
Definitely.
He's won leagues in 3 different or 4 different countries, and so
Really?
Yeah, he has actually. Yeah.
Wow.
So he can do it.
I'm going to come in on that at the same time because you know I love my Scottish football. And you say about Muscat. I was listening to Sky Sports this morning, and John Smith, we were discussing off air, weren't we? Who is under 19 manager. And Muscat at the moment,
Stephen Smith.
Steve Smith, that's right. Muscat at the moment is over in China,
Yeah.
and he's managing Shanghai Port. wasn't it?
Shanghai Port.
And the thing is, he cannot leave there
4
because
games left.
that's right. And the last game of the season is November the 22nd.
November 22nd.
But they could win it before that, so
Yeah.
they can't offer him it or do anything until a certain time
Right.
finishes. Carry on.
My understanding is that they will make it. They'll agree the compensation with Shanghai Port. They
About
will,
1.5 million, no?
could be, yeah, it could be.
Up to that.
And remember, we've still got to pay off Russell Martin as well for his 123 days work.
Do you have to pay him his full contract?
I think there'll be
Negotiations.
there'll be
wouldn't
some
there?
negotiations,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah.
I don't think it would be like Clement, who waived his compensation. He walked away with nothing. He says, "No, I'll walk away."
Nice.
So which was nice,
That's
you know.
nice.
But I don't.
When you get
Yeah.
a manager or a footballer that does it, I remember we had one a couple of years ago. You know, he was on 250 grand a week. This
Yeah.
guy had a 3-year deal. You know, we got him on a free transfer, and he played for the first season, right, and done nothing, right.
Yeah.
So he said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. Look, I want to go back to Brazil. Corinthians want me. Rip my contract up, and I'll go."
Yeah.
You know, it saved us a lot of money.
Yeah.
He was on £1 million a month. You know, he saved us 20 odd million quid.
Yeah.
And it was William. It
Yeah.
was William. It was,
Yeah.
and then he came back to Fulham 2 years later and tore it up in the Premier League. You know, played really
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You know, right? Your owners.
Right. Okay.
Do you want them in or out?
Well, okay, right. Let me say something, right? So when the new owners came in, like probably other Rangers fan, I was so excited. Cash injection, getting some of the old guard board out, getting real businessmen in. However, right, I've got to say, right, if I look at the process in, first of all, appointing Russell Martin as the head coach, right, who, if you look at his track record, had lost more games at every club he was at than what he had won, and that is not, Rangers are all about winning, and for me that was no good. And if you look at the process, for appointing the new manager, it looks like the search for Madeleine McCann was far more organised than what this search for a new Rangers manager.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got to say, I hope I'm wrong, but we've got to stick with them because they're just in. But I'm not so sure. I've got doubts in my mind about them. Yeah.
Well, listen, right. What I wanted to talk to you about today,
Yeah.
them questions are great. I wanted
Yeah.
the answers, of course, I did.
Yeah.
But when I spoke to you 3 weeks ago, maybe,
Yeah.
and I said to you, you know, I want you to come on the show.
Yeah.
I really wanted to come on the show. I really wanted to talk to you about Rangers. And you said to me, 2 words, there's nothing to say. That's what you said. You know,
True.
when they say there's nothing to see here,
Yeah.
well, you said there's nothing to say. I'm not coming on because there's nothing to say.
Yeah.
They were your words, right? So I spoke to the governor, the mayor, whatever you want to call him, right? 3 bars in 30 years. And I said, listen, he's not ready to come on yet. He's got nothing to say. He said, all right then. So we left it a couple of weeks, and then I texted you the other day when the management started coming through him and Martin had been sacked, and the management he was talking about the manager, and I saw you on your bike, and I said, listen, come on, let's do this. So what I want to give the viewers, you know, like there's a group that I'm in, best Rangers fans in the world, you know, on Messenger, I'm sure you're in it, and I'm going to put this on there to get these views up for our show. But the honest opinion of your club, right? give the viewers, the Rangers fans I'm talking about, give them the honest opinion of where your club can finish this season and what's going on at the club, monetary wise, transfer wise, manager wise, the whole shebang. You know,
Right.
just be honest and upfront and tell us what is going on at this massive club that's the most, one of the most trophies in the whole of the world.
Okay.
In football.
Right, okay. There needs to be some change, right? Okay. We've got Kevin Thelwell in, who was at Everton.
Yeah, I read that, yeah.
Now let me give you an example, right, of where I think that he's on the wrong job, right? Okay. Right. And it's quite simple, right? He paid 11.4 million because he's in charge of recruitment for Everton, and he paid 11.4 million for a centre forward, Yusuf Chermete. Okay, I've probably not pronounced that correctly,
Yeah.
And probably the reason I've not pronounced that correctly because he is certainly not set the heather on fire. Now let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Okay, before he came to Glasgow Rangers, he played 22 games for Everton. Okay, and never scored one goal. Okay.
Wow.
So Rangers' biggest signing that we spent the most money on ever in our history was Torre Andre Flo, 12.5 million.
Yeah.
12.5 million. And basically, he went out and bought Yusuf for £10 million. So he is our second biggest ever
Everton.
from Everton. We spent, that's what a lot of our transfer budget went
After
on.
he took him to Everton,
Yeah,
from wherever,
yeah. It came from Sporting Lisbon, it was,
Lisbon,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and basically,
he didn't score no goals in 20 odd games.
yeah.
And
He
then
had scored 3 goals for Sporting, right?
Right.
Okay, Everton paid 11.4, we've paid 10 million, right? Okay, I think initial, it's 8 million up front.
was that summer?
That was just in the summer, yeah.
Has he scored any?
No, he's not scored. No, does he look like scoring? No. So
Is he a centre forward or a winger?
he's a centre forward.
Flipping
He's a centre forward. So
Wow.
there you go. If you're looking, what's wrong? So
far, yeah.
our recruitment.
Kevin Farewell, get out.
Yeah, and right, okay. We've got, and I'm going for the juggler. We've got a CEO, right?
Yeah.
Patrick Stewart, okay.
And
And
your cousin, is he?
now, funny enough, I think he is actually an Aberdonian. No, he's not my cousin. I actually think he's an Aberdonian. But so this could be a plant, okay?
Right, a seed.
This could
A
be
seed.
but
A wrong
right. But like one of the big clubs, although you'll disagree with me, but one of the big clubs in England was Manchester United. He was in charge or at Manchester United during their worst ever period. So, and we've got him now. So
Wow.
I think the owners need to make changes in that
In the
front.
board, make change in the board.
Yeah, I think
Do an Arsenal, get them all out.
They've got to do so. We need some changes. However, if we can get, if Muscat comes, right? Okay, if he comes, now granted, there would be 10 games that he would miss. Big European games. There would be league games. There would be a semi-final against Celtic in the League Cup,
Wow.
right? So there's some massive games. However, if we get get it together, get these players playing a system that fits suits them, then my view is that we'll be up there at the end. And it's never over to the fat lady sings, right?
Of course not, without a doubt.
And let me, Hearts are doing well, right? Hearts as a club are doing well. However, my personal view is they will drop some points. They will be up there challenging, definitely, right?
Yeah.
The other mob from the other side of the city, they're not playing the best football at the moment. Yes, they're getting results, right? I do agree
they're
with
not
that.
playing that well,
But
are
they're
they?
not playing that well. So, although there's a gap, that gap can be caught. I'm not going to sit here today and say we're going to win the league, but I reckon we could have a say in it.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And that's all I can say. But we definitely are going to have to spend some money in the January transfer window, and I think we're going to have to get rid of some of the players that we've brought along.
Well, listen, you know, getting a ball out takes time, right? Because I'm going to go back to Arsenal. It's what we've done, that transition. It took Arteta 5 years, right? He hasn't won a trophy. He won the FA Cup in his first season, but that was the other guy's team, right? Not won it, right? You know, so at the end of the day, our transition period has been 5 years. Now there's only one player left from that team that won the FA Cup 5 years ago. So it took 5 years, and now we are seeing the fruits of his labour. But it's going to take time, Paul, and I hope you do it, mate. You know,
Thank you.
It's been a great interview, man, and you know, if like you know that I didn't support Scottish football, I never did, but I did have a favourite team, so I didn't know about the politics until I met you, and you educated me, and now I don't look at their result. I look for your result. If you're in Europe, I watch you lot on the telly. You know, I don't watch them anymore, and it's like I say to Angela when we're walking, I look at that house over there, them colours. I said, imagine poor Gene living in there. and we laugh. There's a van that pulls up at our complex every day. It's green and white, and I say, I'm going to buy that van for Paul one day. And we just laugh about it, you know, because we know how staunch you and your wife are, you know. And listen, it's good to see you always, man.
Big
Always
question
good
before
to
we
see
finish. Muscat. Now, I've listened to your interview today. Listen, it's gone even 10 times better than I anticipated. Lovely, great answers. Your passion is there, super. Muscat, the question is to me is, would you wait until the end of November if it stayed, or would you rather spend the money and get him now? Because you said how many games you got between now and then. What's your honest opinion on that one?
I would spend the money, but I think the contract's so much tied up with Shanghai that we'll probably not have an option but to wait. And if Neil McCann comes in as assistant, then I think Neil can steady the ship. Without a doubt.
Yeah, that's super. That's the way we're going to go.
But is it right in saying if he can come in 4 games, if they win their next 4 games, Shanghai, the league's done, no?
The league's done, yeah.
So that could be quicker.
If the teams below lose, then they could win the league sooner.
If they drop points.
Well, that'll do. You don't have to pay the money.
Absolutely.
You can get your money back. You can get your money back that you borrowed them.
Do we know he wants to come?
I think
Ex-player, isn't he? Ex-player.
Ex-player, And Andy won the treble when he was there.
Yes,
He won the treble when he was there. Yeah.
Right, listen, superb. Listen, big man, thank you for doing the interview today.
No problem.
Taking me a bit of time. We're going to do our nice little football show in a few minutes' time. Listen, I can't thank Mr. Stewart enough. There's my hand, and there's me heart. I'm good at the Rangers Football Club. Coming up the table and doing whatever you've got to do. Hope you get your man Muscat. I'm sure you will in time. Listen, I've got a lot of teddy bear fans. If I started to talk Big Davey from Rangers, Big Stevie Sturton, Lorraine, there's probably a few I haven't even mentioned. There's lots of Rangers fans. Yeah, all of them. Just super. So good luck to Rangers Football Club, and fingers crossed they go up the league and they do what they have to do. So what I'm going to say is, don't forget, we are in conjunction with the Sports Tavern in my manor in Cario Salvaki, open 7 days a week. Don't forget, 10 in the morning till 12 at night. Lots of things coming up. So check on Facebook, and it is what it is. So if you like what you see and you like what you hear, all you Rangers fans out there, please subscribe to WEBBY'S World. And we'll do a lot more Rangers talking in the future, a lot more Scottish football.
And you'll find it on my Facebook page, Messenger. It'll be everywhere. So have a look for it if you want to watch it. Subscribe, download it, do whatever you want to do. Take care.
Cheers, boys. Thanks a lot. Take care. See you all soon.
Thank you.